Hey, how you doing? I'm Barry Ruda. This is Knightstand. This is a low-budget cable show, really about nothing, but kind of about everything. The show may contain, actually no, it won't contain much of anything, except for the fact that I may make a few jokes, and I'd appreciate it if you laughed at them. We usually have some guests. You want to go sit down?
Okay.
That's Matt. He's my sidekick type of co-host type dude. What I want to do is just, I guess, sit down and talk to you guys about what we have to talk about.
It was the dawning of a new era, the dot-com boom. An age where billions of Earthlings were connecting for the first time across a new and exciting space. The information superhighway, the World Wide Web. Long before we simply called it the Internet, we were using phrases like logging on and instant message, phrases that now are only dusty relics in our collective lexicon. Our personal computers were the gateway to all known information we trusted explicitly. These personal computers were our second screens, something that nobody predicted would ever overtake our first love: television. From its inception, television was the one source upon which we looked for a glimpse into another world. We saw MLK rise, Kennedy die, a man step onto the moon. We saw Saturday morning cartoons, the dawning of music television, Jerry Springer. There was no shortage of things to watch, to consume. At times, it could feel overwhelming. But at some point, the world changed. The Twin Towers fell. Terrorism infected our souls, and we became divided. The information went bad without ever watching its growth. Soon, there was more to talk about, more to read and to see, more to argue about. And from this insidious cloud of chaos came a new subset of connection: social media. Likes, dislikes, comments. Voicing opinions quickly took the place of thinking, and before anybody could debate even why we were arguing, our second screens became not only our primary source for information, they replaced our brains, our ability to reason. As for our old friend the television, well, it too was perverted. The golden days of sitting down to simply enjoy something were lost to time. And maybe there's no fighting that fate. But we're sure as hell gonna try.
Would you like this on the table?
Off the table.
Off the record. Two city boys on a journey to the deep south. And they find themselves in a bit of trouble when they are framed for committing the most egregious murder. And one of them has a relative.
Hold on. Are you talking about the plot to My Cousin Vinny?
Yes. This is filming,
That's actually on.
but we won't keep the money. Yes, I was given they gave me a sum of money. They saw me on Craigslist or where.
I think Craigslist, yeah, that's correct, for a historian or documentarian.
I have children to feed.
That's right. Many
children, unlike Barry and Matt, who have no progeny to speak of.
No legacy.
No next of kin.
So if this were to be Barry and
no family to love them, to care for them when they pass on. There actually is much overlap with my cousin Vinny and these two boys crimes upon humanity.
So you think their show was a crime against humanity?
Have you seen the show? What does the show do to further society? What does it do? If they were to vanish in an instant, the butterfly effect.
My memory is so bad of that time, but I do remember this moment when the doorbell rang. I went to the front door. The dog is, there bouncing at the door, and there's Barry outside, which is very rare. And he straight up asked me, he's like, I need you to do a show with me.
My name is Barry Arruda, and I am the creator of Knightstand. Knightstand was destined for stardom from the moment we started. I think if you look at the show through the kaleidoscope of today's world with content creation, YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and everything else under the sun, it had a cultural impact on the world that has not been seen probably since.
Good, I'm doing all right.
You excited?
I'm pretty excited. This is our first show.
Yeah.
Big show.
It's not live, so don't try to call in.
Yeah. That's why we're so low class.
Yeah. This is gonna be good, I think.
Anyway, it's nice to work with you.
It is good working with you. So, were you excited about Halloween?
Not really. Halloween got old a while ago.
Really? You're not going out trick or treating?
I might.
You know what you do is
Play the guitar, man.
Yeah, you could do that. You know what you should do is you and I should go trick or treating like we did a couple of years back. I'm the pirate, and I'm supposed to be like your older brother, and we just get this all the candy in the pillowcase. Do you remember that?
No. Sorry.
Yeah, maybe that wasn't even you.
Whoa.
All right, so you don't want to do that again.
Not really.
Anyway,
I'm listening to him, and I'm responding to him, but it's like we're having our own conversations at the same time. So it really is a very comfortable thing for us to just be idiots and waste time, which is what the show really is.
If they were to suddenly vanish into thin air, gone immediately, the butterfly, let's say these two entities, Barry and Matt, were to suddenly vanish into thin air, the butterfly effect would be minuscule. It would be inconsequential.
How do you compare Barry and Naz's show to
Naz,
true art?
Naz. He calls himself Naz. Be proud of your name. His full name, Nazaro. Naz.
So
Diminish it. Quiet.
In the years following that production, there were so many children born with the name Barry that it's hard to even comprehend. And I'm honestly talking about males, females. I mean, Barry Ann was up there big for a while. As for Naz, he was someone that I had known just barely. I mean, we had done some theater things in the past, but we came together for this project, and he helped me feel at ease and really helped the production go as well as it did. It helps that he, is very, very good at taking verbal abuse, and this is the way that I communicate love and emotion. And so, if that's an issue for you or people that I'm dealing with, and that's probably an issue with you.
Asking how you've been.
Great, man. The show was awesome. I can't wait to tell you all about it.
So you've seen the show?
Yeah, it was in Worcester. It was just a couple weeks ago.
Oh, you're talking about a metal show.
Yeah, isn't that why you're here?
Do you remember those two kids, Barry and Naz, that you produced a show for at Channel 22 North Andover back in the late 90s?
Yeah, it was probably that. Are you gonna ask me questions about kind of like the worst time of my high school career? I got all dressed up to tell you about a metal show, and you want to ask me about my junior and sophomore year of high school. Okay, got it. I was an intern at North Andover Television, and back then, interns got paid. And anytime there was a show, I showed up. My boss told me what the plan was for the week, and I showed up when I was told to show up. Tom was my boss. Real tall, lanky, sweary, smoky guy that no one really liked.
The station manager was a man named Tom. A tall, lanky man. He wore his, jeans way up high, and he smoked a lot of cigarettes in that little office on high school property. I'm not sure if that's allowed these days.
We would call him Roland, and we would refuse to address him as Tom, even though he repeatedly corrected us. Again, his name, Tom, we called him Roland. And I'm pretty sure that this was done in order to strip him of all of his dignity and the dignity of a name that his parents bequeathed upon him.
Director, cameraman, producer, or whatever the heck. I don't even remember what their titles were specifically.
We had a couple of camera operators. We had a guy that was switching the cameras. We had a guy doing audio. We had a guy handling phones. But, before Knightstand, we had this really successful show called Sports and Things.
What did you see as the main differences between Knightstand and Sports and Things?
Talent. And, the whole town, all the townies got involved with that. It was a trivia show. It was a great show. Barry came one day and said, "Hey, I saw you guys do live stuff, so we want to do live stuff too." And I said, "No, you can't do live stuff. I have to get approval for that, and I don't feel like getting approval for that, and this is just easier. Can we just do this quick tape?" "Nope, we want to do live." And Barry went over my head and talked to Tom, and next thing I know, Barry hates Tom, but we still have a live show.
What's up, kid? How you doing? It's good to see you, man.
Well,
it took us a little while to get on.
Yeah, you know why? I don't know why.
Well, our crew's kind of like, it's a good crew. Can't really blame it on them.
It's a good crew. You want to tell the reason or what?
No, it was a problem with the audio. I think the media class of 7th period, if you are watching, thanks for messing it up for us.
Yeah, good job.
This isn't our Christmas show. This is our Thanksgiving show, but it's really not even our Thanksgiving show because
No, it really is.
no, it really is cool. We're gonna have roll some stuff in with Paul as we usually do, but it's like we don't have anything now.
No.
Paul's gonna strangle us.
Yeah, Paul's going to kill us. He went home to get the turkey because we were supposed to do a bunch of cool rolling.
He broke into your house.
He's
that
supposed
was
to climb in my window, right?
Right.
To get the turkey, the stupid turkey. He was supposed to get in the window because we left the turkey at home.
Why don't you
My
drop-
mic's off.
Why don't you drop your mic, kid, one time?
Is my mic even on?
I don't think it was.
I hate
man.
I know the second show, we wanted to really get that call-in aspect going for the show. So it was always designed to be a call-in show. We wanted to engage with the community at large. And so the station manager, Tom, he wasn't big on that. We did it anyway.
Sure, go for it.
All right, what's the point of the show?
The point of the show is to entertain all the people out there who have way too much homework to do and just want to sit around, laugh their, I can't even say that because it's live, but laugh something off. And I hope that you're doing it, all
For
right?
the first, 1-2 years, actually mostly prank phone calls. But while that sounds bad, it was actually really good. It meant that people were engaged. They were calling in. They were harassing us relentlessly.
I forget when the idea of live phone calls was introduced, but it probably was immediately. I guess the crew was probably like, we can do live calls next time. And I was like, oh, because that's what people do on local cable television, I guess.
I said, "No, you can't do live stuff."
In that aspect, I was like, well, nobody's going to call in. Like, this is just two little fools, like, prattling on about God knows. But once we got to the second episode and the phone started ringing, you wouldn't have believed how many people were just calling in to, speak in a very insulting accent of some kind. But also, I love the show. We're watching it with our kids, like weird, crazy stuff that I never expected, we never expected. And I think that's just what kept us doing it for so long. The calls just got wild.
Barry?
Oh my God!
Who's this?
I'm God.
Hello, God.
Hello,
How are
how's it
you,
going?
man?
First of all, I have to say what I just saw was pretty disturbing. It was weird, but I liked it.
Thank you.
Anything you want to say?
Well, I was wondering when you're going to get to the educational component of this program.
Okay.
No? Okay.
Can I
No.
just say something about beer? I mean, what do you know about beer? I mean, you drink like Bud Light and Coors Light. You don't even know what beer is.
Yes, right. Matthias,
we don't
I don't
condone-
drink.
Nightstand.
Hi,
Hi, who's this?
this is Bobby.
Bobby who?
Menery?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey,
How you doing? It's my friend.
good. I just want to say I love your show. I can't stop laughing.
Thanks,
Thank you very
man.
much.
So funny.
Neither can Bryn. Listen to her.
Yeah.
Two lost souls, subsisting on the fringes of society. No scholastic endeavors to speak of. Nary a hint of athleticism, besides the occasional kick flip, faulty, at the local skateboarding park. They inexplicably found themselves in each other's orbits. Call it fate, call it luck, call it karma. And they used each other's essences to try and garner some sort of fame, love that they did not get at home or in the schooling, because they had been excommunicated from family, from friends. And now, here they are, starting a local cable access television show. Bi-weekly. Talking about nothing. To no one. Who is listening? It does not matter. They have each other, this symbiotic relationship of failure.
I'm not sure of how many characters Paul did for the show. We only have about 6 hours of tape for the 90s version of Knightstand. A lot of those tapes have been lost forever. But one of the things that Paul did, which I think made the most impact, was he played the devil in our Halloween episode one year.
So that's a devil right there.
That is him, live
this-
from hell.
No, live from hell. This is exciting.
All right.
Hey, how's it going, devil?
Okay.
How you boys doing?
We're doing well, thanks.
I just like to say before we start,
Yeah?
I enjoy your show. Very
Really?
much.
Thank you. You get,
Wait, go ahead. Do you get cable down there, Media One?
Yeah, I get everything. You know what? God's not the only one who gets everything. The only difference between me and God is he pays for his stuff.
Oh, you certainly are
You're a
cruel.
sleaze. You're a
Oh
sleaze.
my goodness.
Okay. So you're on. So kick it.
Okay, so I have one. Can we ask you some questions, sir?
You know, that's what I'm here for. Go ahead.
All right, you're the man. Thank you, Cruelty.
So not a lot of people can truly say they know an actual artistic genius. And even back in the day, I mean, even before high school and middle school, I think we met in second grade. And I knew when I met him on the playground that he was a genius. So when it came to doing a show, I was like, well, there's only one person we can have supporting this as a comedic element. And that's Paul. He did so many roll-ins and characters, and he played the devil with no clothes on. He played Jesus talking to the devil. He played other fun parts, and some that, just don't play well these days. But he just lights up the room. He always has. He's a prolific actor now, and I just wouldn't want to share the screen with anybody else. He's just super charming, hilarious, just maniacal brilliance.
But you share the screen with Barry.
I do share the screen with Barry, and that would be the second best screen share. I'll do it gladly.
Paul's really good at improv. He can riff with the best of them. So again, because we didn't really ever write anything, we just let him go. I don't know what he said. I mean, it's on the tapes. I'm sure it was absurd. But again, the station manager, Tom, who eventually passed away through some crippling disease, horrible, he actually pulled us in and said, you know, I'm getting calls for this. I'm getting people who are very upset that there was nudity on the television. And I mean, I don't know. I looked at Naz. He looked a little concerned. I was thrilled. I mean, I'm talking about this is what we want. You can't buy that kind of PR. And so, yeah, having nudity on cable access was genius. Honestly, it's not pay-per-view. It's not HBO. Let's freak people out. That's really what we wanted to do. So yeah, Paul hit a home run with that one for sure.
What do you remember about your name on the credits of the show changing to Ball Bag? Do you remember that story?
I'm sorry, what?
So, I'll remind you that during one of the shows, somebody went into the control room and changed your name to Ball Bag. You weren't happy about it. Do you not have any insight onto who that might have been, or do you remember that?
It was either... It was Shane. Okay, look, this was high school, right? I'm a guy who is just existing in the world. Existing in the hallways of North Andover High. And every once in a while takes a detour past the English area and hangs a left into the big door that says TV studio, right? Because I'm a nerd. The punks don't like me, the hardcore kids don't like me, the theater group doesn't like me. I have no friends, I have no club, I have nothing. So I'm a nerd, I'm gonna lean directly into that, right? So, what was the question?
A good little family vibe that lasted until Barry made us put Chris's name as Ball Bag under producer, and then I think that's what broke that camel's back. I think. So when they changed your name in the credits to Ball Bag, you said it was Shane.
Of course it was.
Was that the only hiccup the show's production had?
It was a live TV show featuring high school juniors and seniors who whose total viewership were other sophomores, juniors, and seniors. No, I'd say that was probably the least amount of problems we've had was my name being changed to Ball Bag.
So we're at the library.
Yeah, it's very quiet in here.
It's extremely quiet. And we have a couple yearbooks. We have the year 2000 because that's when we graduated. But then, sneaky Naz, I have a 1987 yearbook here. And this is really important for one reason.
Why?
Whitesnake was ripping during this time.
I see.
But that's not the reason.
I knew it was going to come back to hair metal eventually.
It always does. No, the reason we have a 1987 yearbook is because this happens to be the only yearbook that holds this treasure, which is a picture of the North Andover High School as it was during our tenure there.
It just looks the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
And so, what's strange about that is they've built this massive new school. I'm sure it's beautiful inside. I've never seen inside. I don't know if you have.
Yeah, it looks like a hospital prison.
Yeah, it's just like everything else. Whereas this thing is really, it had such a good. I mean, there were no walls. It was just a different. Look at that picture.
I know.
It was just a different feeling. It was so 70s.
But it is wicked 70s.
It just really spoke to me on a different level. Outside of that,
cool, man.
there is one reason we wanted to take a look at the North Andover High School yearbook, and that is this sign, which was given to the high school by the class of 1994. And I don't know. So here we are at the North Andover High School. It probably looks a little different to you if you went to school here prior to, I don't know, this century?
Yeah. We're
But
literally standing on the grave of Knightstand. We're standing on the grave of Channel 22. And, you know, I just feel like the spirit of those two young boys is buried 15 feet below us right here.
Yeah, I mean, definitely sounds like you are going to be arraigned soon, but
That's right.
I think what you're trying to say is that the studio used to be somewhere right here.
Yes.
Our chairs were in this vicinity.
Yep.
Again, 15, 20 feet below, since this monstrosity came in and just backfilled all the dirt. And honestly, we're not civic engineers, so we don't really know what's going on.
I can still feel the heat of the lights on my brow.
Wow.
As I stand here.
All I feel is icy cold. I think I've lost a toe.
I can't feel my cheeks.
But we're here. We made it. We're back.
They did.
They did.
But why? Why? Why do these two young, inappropriate, immature, prepubescent, puerile boys, why do they keep coming back to each other and this show and collecting set pieces that they've cobbled together in this studio and goading on other fringe humans of society to band together to help them? Why? Why do they do this?
How do you think the episodes compared to the high art that you've documented in your time, seeing real truth throughout the world in America?
Oh yes. Do these young boys have a right to life? Do they have a right to be existing in the world? Like you and I, of course. Do we wish that they were not existing? Absolutely.
The biggest problem we had was when I get a phone call that we need a new microphone strung up on the rafters next to these incredibly hot lights without the XLR cable melting. And so I go up onto this giant blue ladder and I string it up because you guys wanted to do a Christmas show. Fine. I string up the shotgun mic, I hang everything down nice and neatly, and the next thing I know, someone, and I'm pretty sure it was Barry, lifts the bottom step and starts shaking the ladder on me.
Barry, you know, noticed that the big kind of snowball of talent coming in, and he was maybe a little turned off by it, but it just didn't seem. Now he thinks that we did shows after he left, but that's absolutely untrue. We never did a Knightstand episode without Barry. But leading up to the end, I think he was just like, you know, wearing a white t-shirt and being like, with his hat backwards, being like, you know, F this, F you. I don't know if he swore at us, but I really couldn't tell you exactly, but he bounced. And we, I guess, stopped the show.
So it's safe to say that Barry is Knightstand.
Oh, Barry's the very heart of Knightstand.
I don't really know how Knightstand ended. I've been told that I simply said Knightstand's over and then ran off like a petulant child, which, look, depending on who you believe, that might be true. I would encourage you to look at that narrative with some severe criticism and speculation, because that could be a lie. It sounds right, but it could be a lie. And I think the reason I left is because Naz and Paul were starting to do things that were way more artsy. They were way more enriching. They had a lot more meat on the bone. And the show actually was starting to make sense. And that for me was not my thing. I was so desperately self-conscious that the personality that comes across during that show is, I don't know, a shell of who I am today. You know, I'm not arrogant, but I mean, that poor son of a gun on the television was struggling. And so he really had to sort of overreach his own abilities to try and get the attention on him. So most of what came out of his mouth during that time, out of Barry's mouth, was masturbatory, self-centered. And so you almost have to feel bad for him. I mean, talk about a kid that really could have used some guidance, didn't get it. But as for Barry today, much more grounded. Barry today is a different sort of upstanding, you know, I don't want to say family guy, but he's built a home for himself, relatively successful, both on the financial side of his life and also, you know, intellectually, Barry has really surpassed anything that college could have done for him. So, yeah, we're happy for Barry. We're really happy for him.
Do you remember anything about the end of Knightstand? How did this whole episode come to a close?
Oh, yeah, I remember. I remember really well. See, we all show up one day, and where's the talent? Where did the talent go? 8 o'clock, we're all supposed to go live. I had already keyed it in to automatically go live right at 8 o'clock. And then, what do I hear? The talent isn't here. Great, so what are we going to do? We're going to show color bars at 8 o'clock in the evening on North Andover Television. Great. Where the cable access board basically watches to find out if Barry and Naz are going to say anything offensive that I have to deal with on Thursday morning because my boss won't. And then the talent just fucks off. Thanks, guys. So I don't get paid that $5.15 an hour while the show is not running. Thanks, guys. You just took off and left me hanging. Fine. No call, no show. Appreciate it. See ya.
It's filth. For the eyes, the ears, the senses, I can almost smell the set. But there's something real about it. Engaging. There is something undeniably fascinating about the way these two creatures operate together. Taking the phone calls from people needing connection in the world and reaching back out to them, holding their hand via telephone cord. It's a time and a moment that is lost in today's society. We need more of it. We need more young boys. I love young boys.
We have to do that live one more time.
While I was young, I thought I had my own key. I knew exactly what I wanted to be. Now I'm sure you bought it up every door. Lived in a bubble days but never ending. Was not concerned about what life was sending. Fantasy was real, but now I know much about the way I feel. I'm gonna paint you a picture. I don't think you live round here no more. Never even seen the key to the door. We only get what we will settle for. While we're living the dreams we have as children. fade away. They're gonna fade away. Fade away. Fade away. Fade away. Fade away. 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 They're gonna fade away. Fade away.
I think at the end of the day, when you peel back all the stuff and you look at everything that we've done, and it may not be a lot, Knightstand was the foundation for my friendship with Naz and Naz's friendship with me. So, yeah, it's comedy, it's disinformation, it's idiocy, but at the root of all of that stuff is love. It's about love, and I'm proud of it. I'm really, really proud of that show.
You think we should stay on TV?
Oh, yeah, God, I hope so.
Thank you so much.
But he likes this.
See? We're gonna thank you very much.
Don't ever doubt that, because you're real good kids, and I think you're role models.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And we need more of that, don't we? Yes, we need more youthful energy. More young boys on our television screens. I love the boys.